The following phrase will be stuck in your head until you listen to Left-Handed Radio. That phrase is
Left-Handed Radio.
Duh.
I'm Brett Davis.
No, I'm Brett Davis.
And we're here at City Laundry.
Laundry City.
In Queens, New York.
Yes, Long Island City, to be exact. And I'm here
I've got a great guest.
with Chris Duffy. How's it going, Chris?
Pretty good, Brett.
Good. You're the host of You're the Expert, which is a very popular radio show. That quote, and these are your words, uses comedy to make academic research more accessible and exciting.
My words, your mouth.
Yes. And welcome to the podcast for laundry, which it uses comedy to make laundry more accessible and exciting.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Yeah, I'm happy you're here.
If there's one thing that I want, it's for laundry to be accessible to everyone.
Good.
For too long, people have been shut out.
You know, that's what makes you America's sweetheart.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I know I didn't really explain what the show is exactly, but I did notice that you your eyes lit up when I said I was doing a podcast about laundry, which is why I wanted you in here sooner rather than later.
Genuinely, I do like laundry.
What is that?
What is it that I like about laundry?
Yeah, like what makes it? Because I love it.
Well, my two things that I like about it.
Mm-hmm.
One is I like clean clothes, like having clean clothes, and the other one is in my marriage, we like split up tasks, and I hate cleaning things. Like, hate cleaning feels like a real chore, whereas like doing laundry doesn't feel like a chore to me. And I was able to trade away the parts that I don't like of cleaning in exchange for doing laundry, which my wife doesn't like and feels like is a terrible, horrible thing. So it feels like we both feel like we won on this one. Okay. So laundry is kind of like a good marker of a trade where everyone wins, a win-win situation.
That is so nice to hear. You know, we've had guests on here and they kind of are uncomfortable with the fact that we're going to be talking about laundry.
Oh, no, I've got lots of opinions about laundry.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Are you like a Bob Saget, like what was it, on Full House, Bob Saget sort of? Are you like a clean freak?
Clean freak? No, I'm not a clean. I'm neat. I think I'm
very neat.
Certainly compared to most other comedians, I'm cleaner. I'm much cleaner than most other comedians.
Absolutely.
But I would say compared to most other humans, I'm probably like maybe slightly above average. But
I'm saying this, and you, after a long day, because we are filming this in the evening, or recording this in the evening, you are making me feel like a crust punk.
A crust punk. Of the two of us, you're wearing all pure white right now, including your headphones. You are wearing the cleanest possible color, a color that shows any dirt, and it's flawless.
It's my laundry outfit.
This is your laundry outfit.
Yeah.
It's a very clean outfit.
Mm-hmm. If you saw me, I kind of rushed right into the public bathroom here at Laundry City on 48th, and I got into my podcast clothes.
I'm wearing a gray long sleeve shirt that I've worn more than one day in a row. So between the two of us, you're much neater than me right now.
Are you ready to turn the tide?
Let's turn the tide.
We're gonna turn the tide. Pause for bumper. Okay, you see I'm holding a bottle of Tide right here.
I see it.
Now, what this is doing is it's going to give you power throughout the show. If we go into a territory that you're a little uncomfortable with, that you don't necessarily want to talk about, which, we get real here on the podcast for laundry, all you need to do is turn this bottle so the label faces me, and you can literally turn the tide of the show.
Turn the tide of the show. I love this.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I had this power in all conversations in my life.
Good.
Actually, when my dad's family, I love them, and we have a lot of things that are
is
different.
this about laundry?
Yes, it is. Well, it's related to turning the tide.
Okay.
Whenever you get into an uncomfortable conversation, they always say, "Let's turn the lazy Susan," which is like the turn the tide of food. You know what a lazy Susan is?
I know what a lazy Susan is, but this is not the podcast for food. However,
food is one of the most common stains on clothes.
I know.
Just saying.
I know.
It all comes back to laundry.
We're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into stains, but I was trying to grab hold of the food topic and really just drag it into our first segment what we're gonna do is because you are a public radio host, you have a big public radio fan base. People that maybe donate to public radio have posters of you on their walls.
That is almost certainly not true.
What we're gonna do is I'm gonna kind of take a tone that I wouldn't normally take on the show, and I'm actually gonna talk about current events of laundry.
Okay. You know, one of the things that I enjoy.
We were gonna do a quick bumper, so if you wouldn't mind just pausing,
shutting up for the bumper.
Yeah, and this is current events of laundry. Hold for bumper.
I see what's happening now.
Yeah. What were you were saying something?
I was going to say, you know, one of the things that I appreciate about you as a person who I'm friends with in real life as well as on the podcast about laundry is that almost every time you pause in speaking, I'm not sure if it will be the time when you kill me or not. And I mean that in the best possible way.
No, I like that.
But you have a look in your eyes as we pause for these bumpers that says, maybe it's going to be a fun bumper. Maybe this is the end.
I want you to feel safe, but safety sometimes means you're comfortable. And when you're comfortable, you're not on your toes.
That's true.
And I need you to be on your toes.
I am.
Because this is a podcast for laundry.
I'm on my toes.
Have you ever heard of the Dinner Party download?
I've heard of it, but I've never listened.
Okay, it's a very popular podcast. And what they do is they talk about different topics you could talk about while you're heading into a dinner party. And I thought this would be a great thing if you happen to do laundry with someone else, which doesn't, that you don't do that.
Laundry topics.
You do it alone. I'm guessing this is your moment of solace away from the whole ball and chain.
My moment of solace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if this is a social activity, then maybe you'll want some talking points. So
Are there a lot of people for whom laundry is a social activity?
Not me.
I've never seen someone do laundry with a friend, but I assume it must happen sometimes.
I mean, I always sit through my cycles and I observe and I watch.
You watch the spin.
Well, I don't necessarily just watch the spin, although I find that hypnotizing.
Yeah, it is.
And
I like when the
beautiful.
suds start coming. That's the best part.
You are the perfect guest.
I will say, I don't know if this counts as the same, but I think I prefer drying to laundry. But you know,
Why is that?
well, one, it's like it comes out done, and like that, like nice warm, like ooh. And you also I like that when laundry, if the laundry cycle is done, washing machine, and you let it sit for an hour, no problem. But like there's something really nice about it. It comes out of the dryer, and you have this very small window where it's like if you fold this stuff, it will be wrinkle free. And then if you wait too long, if it cools down, now you got wrinkly clothes again.
Yeah.
So there's like a finite window of like you have a clear task. All you have to do is do this task that doesn't require a lot of thought. You just do it, and you can think about other things while you're doing it. And when you're done, now you have wrinkle-free clothes. But there's a deadline on it.
See, anybody that's come on the show and has given me a hard time that maybe laundry is not exciting or, dare I say, beautiful, I hope they're listening to this.
Yeah, there's a countdown. Laundry is like a flower that blossoms and then closes after only a day.
Chris, I have a job to do, and it's as the host of the show. I introed a segment, and we got to rear back to that.
This week in current events in laundry.
Okay. You're a bit of a foodie, is that right?
No.
Just say yes.
Sure.
You're a bit of a foodie, right?
You know.
You know, you're...
Sure. I'm a bit of a
Okay,
foodie.
thanks.
I can be a bit of a foodie.
Yeah. Okay, we'll just fix that. Then maybe you know about sous-vide cooking.
I've heard of it.
Sous-vide cooking is when you would take let's say a chunk of meat. If you were to maybe put that on a pan or try to grill it or something, you're not getting that even cooking. So what sous vide cooking is you put it into a plastic bag, vacuum seal it,
Sous vide.
and then cook it in boiling water.
Under empty.
What?
Sous vide. That's what it means in French.
Shut up.
That's what it means.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I'm telling.
Great.
So, we'll fix that too in post. So sous vide cooking is the trend right now, and it's a fairly new practice. Originally, only chefs were doing it, but there's a man named Iftach Gazet, who's a design student at Jerusalem's Bezalel Academy of Arts and Design, that is making sous vide cooking accessible for everyone.
Wow.
Are you ready for this?
I'm ready for this.
Guess what the method that he is using to make this universal is.
You can sous vide cook in your bathtub.
This is the podcast for laundry. Why would I be talking about a bathtub?
You can sous vide cook inside your washing machine.
Exactly. It's a line of pre-made meals that creatively reimagine washing machines as sous vide cookers. His Sous-Vide bags, what does that mean?
Sous-Vide, under the life.
Yeah, great.
But it's a play on C'est la vie.
Yeah. My
So,
audience isn't stupid.
You see what he did there?
Yeah.
Change the say, it is, to sue, under. Under the life.
They don't technically exist yet, but they are designed to come in 3 varieties: salmon with teriyaki sauce, mixed veggies and olive oil, and garlic salt, and garlic herb steak.
Do you think that you're also putting your other laundry in there too? Like you're
I
doubling
think
up?
that would be the idea, yeah.
Wow.
Because if you are
That's
to
a-
put
that's a
too
risk.
light of a load, then if this were clothes, they wouldn't necessarily be washed properly. If you put too much, they might not get washed at all.
Yeah. But also, you got to really trust that bag because
Well, you should trust it because it's made of waterproof Tyvek and creates a vacuum seal around the food, which he claims can be cooked simply by selecting the appropriate setting on the machine. A piece of meat, for instance, would come out medium rare in a long synthetic cycle. For veggies, he suggests a shorter hot cycle, like for cottons.
wow, that is, I would try it. But I also would not put in any clothes that I didn't want to destroy. Because it seems like quite possible that you end up with broccoli all over all your clothes.
I think you're not trusting Iftach Gazet.
Oh, 100% that is what's happening. I am not trusting Iftach Gazet. But if I tried it and it worked, I would do it again. That's pretty fun. That'd also be a fun dinner party. Everyone
would be
brings
a
over
fun
some
dinner
laundry and then you throw some bags in the washing machine together.
And then everyone can kind of stand around the washing machine and the dryer, and then maybe if you want to extol why it's beautiful.
That could be a good season 1 wrap party for this show. You invite everyone to your favorite laundromat, and then you make everyone a meal.
Hey, producers, is that something we could do? Yeah, sure. Okay. Hopefully this will the release of the Sous-Vide will coincide with this.
Oh yeah, that feels like there's got to be enough budget for that too. A lot of bags of meat going in.
I'm moving on.
Question 2.
This one is about religion.
Okay.
Do you consider yourself a religious man?
Sure. Yeah. My mom is Jewish and my dad is Christian, so I grew up with 2 religions, and I would say that I'm religious.
What do you think about the current pope?
Oh, I'm not Catholic.
You hate him?
I'm not Catholic. I don't know much about
it. It has nothing to do with if you're Catholic or not.
I don't know.
He's a powerful person.
Well, to me, he's
influences a lot of people.
You know, I
just
feel.
give me a general yes or no.
Yes or no on the Pope?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
Good. Because let me tell you about what he's doing.
Yeah.
And this is from Vatican Radio.
Vatican
is
Radio.
The source of this.
An unbiased source for news about the Pope.
It's that. One of the many difficulties for those who live on the streets is to be able to wash, dry, and iron their clothes and blankets. And the Vatican-sponsored Pope Francis Laundry is a response to Francis's invitation to give concrete signs of solidarity to brothers and sisters in need. Now, this press release that was put out by the Vatican and received by Vatican Radio.
Okay.
It says that the laundry boasts
a short distance to send that press release. One of the shortest distances you'd ever need to send a press release. From the Vatican to the Vatican.
What about interoffice emails?
This feels like it is an interoffice email.
It's not.
You think it was a hard
Separate
copy?
things.
Hard copy.
I don't think it was a hard copy. I think it was emailed, but I think that sometimes you email a person sitting across from you in an office, which is a shorter distance that a press release could travel if you could let me get through the fucking thing.
Cursing in a story about the Pope. How
The
dare
laundry
you.
boasts 6 latest generation washers and 6 dryers, along with several irons donated by the Whirlpool Corporation.
Thank you, Whirlpool.
Other commercial detergent producers ensure that the full and free supply of soap, powder, and fabric softener. So it's kind of like a whole team is coming together to make sure that people that live in Vatican City have access to free clean clothes.
That's very admirable.
Mhm.
Now, was that a question?
Did it end with a question mark?
No, but I thought that this was a question segment where you were going to ask me questions about the news. But that one, the first one you
I don't
asked
think
me.
I ever said it was a question segment.
Oh, we're just
I think
bouncing back and forth.
We're riffing. So if you've got an opinion,
Uh,
now's the time.
My opinion on
when is not the time, Mr. Radio Host, is
No.
when I'm in the middle of reading.
Fair point. Point taken. I will clean it up
Mm-hmm.
as we continue.
How do you feel about Pope Francis laundry?
I'm in favor.
Mhm.
Sounds like a good thing that he's doing there.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone needs clean clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you ever aspire to have a Chris Duffy laundry?
A Chris Duffy laundry along the lines of a Pope Francis laundry. Honestly, sure. And also, it sounds like he has 6 washing machines.
He's got 6 latest generation washers and 6 dryers.
Not only would I aspire to that, but I think I could achieve that.
Mm-hmm.
6 washers and dryers feels like an achievable goal for over the course of my life. Could I donate 6 washers and dryers to charity?
Where would it be located?
Well,
In a city?
right here.
In New York?
I will say Laundry City right here. This is already a great spot. What if we just had in the corner a free section that was for the community? Kind of like
That would take away all the business from Laundry City.
well, no, there's a lot more than 6 washers and dryers in here.
Yeah, but if there's free ones, people are just going to wait for those to open.
But imagine if it said on them, please only use these if you can't afford the other ones,
I think there's a clear flaw in your plan that you're ignoring.
which is that you don't trust people.
Yeah.
I think if you framed it in the right way, where these are for the people who are suffering and without means, I think people might be touched. You might even get more business.
Now, what do you think about the small business owners in the Vatican City who are now taking a big bite is taken out of their business? Do you think that is Christian?
So your premise here is that 6 washers and dryers took a big bite out of business owners who were previously profiting off homeless people's laundry.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is not I think that was not the case before, that they were making a lot of money off this particular situation.
You don't think that dry cleaners and laundry, or I guess it's not a dry cleaners.
I don't think there was big homeless laundry. I don't think that was like a big industry that's really suffering.
All right. You hear it here.
There's your scoop.
So far, how do you think I'm doing if your public radio audience is tuning in?
You cursed.
Mm-hmm.
You've been somewhat aggressive, and you forced me to take a stand on the Pope. So I'd say you're doing okay.
Uh-huh.
There's lots of great stuff. I'm going to do
had
it as a
foodie news.
I'm going to do it as a compliment sandwich. 1, great tone.
Uh-huh.
2, really nicely researched.
Okay.
Oh, should have been a sandwich. Sorry. Okay. 1, great tone. I will say you probably could work on vulgarity and topic choice.
Mm-hmm.
However, also really feels like you've done some research and come up with some interesting facts.
Am I wound a little too tight?
Well, you know what? I think you're doing okay. You're wound about exactly as tight as a normal public radio host is wound.
Okay. I'm going to try to take an Ira Glass type tone for this because we had the foodie news.
Uh-huh.
We had something about charity.
Mm-hmm. This laundry life.
Here's the last one. And this may seem like not the topic that a public radio audience would be into. However,
Challenge them.
there is a surprise. So, according, is that the right tone?
The right tone?
Is that the right?
Yeah, that felt like it could have been Ira. I've never met him, by the way. I just know him the same way.
I mean, I don't want to
do
do an Ira Glass impression, though.
Oh, that definitely felt like you were about to do an Ira Glass impression.
You did, yeah.
Yeah.
That's my frame of reference. What if I do like a...
I think if you want to do him without his impression, you have to share a personal anecdote.
What if I do a David Bean Cooley?
Who's David Bean Cooley?
Fresh Air, fill-in host.
You know more than I do.
All right. According to the Smoking Gun...
This is great, but this is literally, you nailed the voice.
Okay. Thanks. According to the Smoking Gun, a 57-year-old man was arrested last weekend after he allegedly walked into a St. Petersburg, Florida laundromat and took a shit on the floor, then threw it in the soap loading compartment of a commercial washing machine. I know what you're thinking. Is what would a public radio audience think about it? Vulgar. It's really what you said before. This is
The tone,
childish.
Yeah, the tone, as you said, the perfect delivery of the word shit was, that's new. I've never heard it like that before.
Mm-hmm. The only source that did report on this story was the type of source that a journalist would say took a shit.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I did what I had to. Now here's the catch for these maybe people with a nicer taste, a better taste than the average Joe. Witnesses said Michael Shannon took a nasty crap around 7:40 a.m. on April 8th, so they called 911. Police officers who responded to the scene said the evidence was still present when they arrived.
Now, is that the actor Michael Shannon?
Who's to say?
That is.
Who's to say?
That feels like, as a reporter, you should be the one to say.
I'm going to say it was the actor Michael Shannon.
Wow, because that story all of a sudden becomes far more newsworthy.
Oscar nominee Michael Shannon.
Oscar nominee Michael Shannon took a dump and put it in the soap container, which is the filthiest place to put a dump. That is, of all the places to put it, the holiest and cleanest of the laundry. Of the entire laundromat, that's the cleanest spot.
Michael Shannon was charged with criminal mischief, a misdemeanor, and booked into the county jail. Police said total damages from the incident will come around the $475 mark.
$475. That's astonishingly high.
Do you think so?
To clean out the soap container?
I think that's a holy place.
Sure, but how much would you have said a soap container cost?
I'm thinking about the poor laundromat employee that once the hubbub has died down and the evidence has been collected, there's still shit smeared in the laundry, in the washing machine that they need to use.
You think they replaced the whole machine?
I don't think they replaced the whole machine. I think they just had to scrub it out.
Oh, yeah, that's bad.
Yeah, so I'd say 475 is generous to.
How much of that
Michael
you think went to
Shannon,
labor, you think, though?
Of Man of Steel fame. I'm sorry?
How much of that 475 you think went to labor? Because it seems like you're saying that the most of the cost is the psychological damage to the employee.
I would say none of it went to the labor.
None of it went to. You think he scraped it out for free? No, just same old regular days
it
pay.
out because it's his damn job.
Wow.
But I will say, at least, like, he didn't get off scot-free.
So wait, show me the receipt then. Like, let's break down the bill. Where does the 475 go?
Hey, Forever Dog listeners, it's Jonathan Braylock,
Draw Milligan,
and James III
from Black Men Can't Jump in Hollywood. This year, we have seen what staying silent can do. And right now, you have an unprecedented opportunity to speak up, cast your vote, and be heard.
It's never too early to register to vote, but it might be too late before you know it.
We want to help make it easy for you to register and have a plan for November 3rd or before if early voting is an option in your state so that your country can finally reflect your values.
Yes, go to foreverdogpodcast.com/vote to register. Check on your registration often. You should do it like every day to make sure and learn how to fill out your ballot.
I don't know about every day, but listen.
Every day.
All right, still register.
Good. Am I good? All right.
Gotta make sure people care.
All right, each state is different, so make sure you're following local rules and regulations. And remember, your voice, your vote. That's foreverdogpodcast.com/vote.
Take care of yourselves and take care of each other.
Yeah, but y'all better vote.
All right, go vote.
Hello, Forever Dog listeners. This is Julie Klausner.
And I'm Tom Sharpling.
And we host a podcast called Double Threat on the Forever Dog Network that we are commanding you to subscribe to. Tom, what is Double Threat?
Well, thank you for asking, Julie. Double Threat's a show where you and I listen to clips of things that drive us up the wall, and we make fun of them, and we make each other laugh, and we have a great time doing it.
And we watch silly things and listen to silly clips like Alec Baldwin interviewing Woody Allen on his podcast, which was a nightmare from hell.
And did you know that disgraced pizza magnate Papa John is giving tours of his mansion over on TikTok? We do. because we watched it and it was not good.
By the way, we should also mention that the AV Club named us one of the best podcasts of 2020 because they did, and it's true, and we are, baby.
And here on Double Threat, we got great guests. We had guests like Deezus and Mero,
Bob the Drag Queen,
Patton Oswalt,
Io Adebri.
and that, my friends, is just the tip of the iceberg.
That
Double
is-
Threat comes out each and every Monday, and you can subscribe on the Forever Dog Network, Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your podcasts.
Do it. Subscribe. Goodbye.
Illegal bondware was just downloaded to your brain. That's the opposite of malware. Listen to Left-Handed Radio.
What are they spending that money on?
Well, I mean, there's the whole paperwork.
The paperwork is
He
costing a
was
lot of
booked
money.
into the jail, so there's employees there.
Oh, I don't think you think the damages include the administrative fees of booking him? That feels wrong.
I think so.
I think it would be higher then. We can move on, but I'm fascinated by this. I would listen to a whole spin-off podcast just breaking down Michael Shannon's poop incident.
Chris, we're gonna move on.
Let's move on.
What we've got here is another segment, and if you're a '90s kid, you might like it. This is the Spin Doctors.
Ooh.
Break for bumper.
I like it.
Yeah, you like it?
I
Okay,
like it.
so what we're going to do is we've got some fan mail. People that love the show
Great.
have written in, and because I know you're a bit of a laundry aficionado,
Love laundry, love fan mail.
that you would maybe be you're the expert to answer
Thank
these
you.
laundry.
If we have time, and you tell me if we don't, I believe I have a short anecdote that combines both laundry and fan mail.
Hey, let's get into it before we get into the nitty gritty.
When I once had a job, which was being an intern for former President Clinton, and my job was opening the mail.
Hillary Clinton?
No, former president, so Bill. Unfortunately, sorry, Hillary, can't have that title yet, or maybe ever. But one of the things that I did when I opened the mail is it would get screened by the Secret Service. But one day, someone else who was sitting next to me who had the same job, she opened a letter, and all this white powder came out. And it was right around the time that the anthrax scares were happening. So the Secret Service cordoned off the area and forced everyone else to leave, and just our little pod of desks had to stay. And then people in like big ET hazmat suits came in, and they took all the stuff from the desk so that they could test it for anthrax. And they told all of us that depending on whether they were able to get results or not, we might all have to take a group decontamination shower, which is like, I couldn't have imagined a more terrifying thing to hear that you might have to do with your coworkers than a group contamination shower.
That does sound like a nightmare.
Yeah, I was like, I think I'd rather have anthrax, actually.
Well,
I was on the fence. I was like, I might take the anthrax. But then they came back and they were like, turns out it was just borax. Woman spilled some laundry detergent in, just sent it in the mail anyway. Yep. She was this same woman who had mailed it borax by accident. She, every single day for the entire time I was there, sent in a different drawing of an animal with Bill Clinton's head on it. And it would say like William Parrot Clinton or William Dolphin Clinton. And it was that animal with his head.
well, that is more fascinating.
Yeah.
But so you just recognize the name every time?
Oh, yeah. And also it was like, we weren't getting a lot of like anamorph Bill Clintons.
Uh-huh.
So
Was
every
it
day,
your job to open it and
yeah, you have to respond to be like, thank you for your letter.
that's insane.
Yeah.
And
Oh, it was definitely the work of a crazy person.
well, yeah.
Or,
someone,
I mean, could have just been a very ambitious long-term art project.
I mean, I think it's a little bit of both.
Sure.
I think that ultimately, if you had done your job, Bill would have a nice little scrapbook.
I did keep many of them.
Okay.
Yeah, they were great. They were.
Do you have pictures of them?
I do have a scan. I wasn't allowed to take home the originals, but I made copies of several and took them home at the end.
Okay.
I have them somewhere.
What was the anthrax one?
William Parrot Clinton.
William Parrot Clinton.
Yeah, that's the one that had borax in there. Which, by the way, borax and anthrax, similar sounding words.
Yeah.
Just a few syllables that change your whole life.
You know what else sounds like borax? My wife. So we're gonna do the spin doctor, and you and I are the spin doctors in this situation.
Great.
Yeah.
Are we spin doctors in the 90s or spin doctors now?
I don't think we're the spin doctors from the 90s.
Oh, so we're not happy anymore.
I think they're probably still happy.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not certainly professionally where they want to be anymore, I would guess.
I know Chris Warren of the Spin Doctors has his own side project and is happily living a life here in New York City.
I take it back. Great. I'm glad to hear they're happy.
Yeah. I don't know if he's happy, but he's got a creative outlet.
Okay.
Dear Brett, I love the show. Thanks. I'm having trouble with grease stains. It seems like every time I cook with grease, I'm left with dots of grease on my shirt. When I try to cook shirtless, those would-be stains are now tiny burns on my skin. To make
Common problem.
Yeah. To make matters worse, I have feelings for my roommate, and now she thinks I have a weird skin condition because she saw me cooking shirtless with little spots all over. I feel like if she moves out, we'll grow distant. Please help.
And who's this letter from?
This is one greasy guy in Georgia.
One greasy guy in Georgia. Hey, can we help him out?
I think so.
So one greasy guy, I feel like a couple things we should start with. One is cooking with grease. I feel like is not maybe the best way to cook. Like cooking can produce grease, but you don't want to start with grease.
What if you're making like a fried chicken or something?
Sure, then you start with oil.
Okay.
I wouldn't start with the grease.
I mean, that's the southern thing.
Is that true?
I don't know.
Okay, if that's a regional difference, like how some people call all soda Coke, then I take it back. But
I think he could be referring to grease stains as oil stains. Or, yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
let's
It's
first
a
clarify that.
greasy thing.
It's one greasy guy.
I can't speak for one greasy guy in Georgia.
Second of all, I think one way that you might be able to solve this problem, and it's not exactly laundry related, but it would prevent laundry, is you could wear an apron. That's one easy solution. This is a classic apron issue that you're dealing with here.
So shirtless with an apron.
Shirtless with an apron, shirted with an apron. Either way, apron's going to catch a lot of those grease stains.
Not all of them, though.
That's true. It probably won't catch every single one. So now once those grease stains get onto your shirt, this is a tough one. It's tough. You're going to want to soak for, I think, a while.
Well, you'd be shocked, but I actually know the solution to this problem.
You do?
And
I've had this problem before.
This is a total laundry hack.
Let's do it. Laundry hack it.
Okay. What you need is baby powder.
Baby powder.
If you don't have baby powder, and this one's crazy, chalk.
Chalk. So if you're a person who doesn't have baby powder in your home, but you do have a lot of chalk, cool.
Yeah.
That feels like it's going to help. That Venn diagram is huge. That's going to help a lot of people there. All the people who have lots of chalk lying around, but no baby powder.
I think the bigger issue...
So are you a gymnast without children?
I don't know.
No, I wasn't. I was saying that's the kind of person who would have that.
Lots of people could have chalk for lots of different reasons.
Sure. You're a police forensic artist who draws the lines around the bodies.
I think the
But you also don't have babies.
I think the department would supply that. But
Sure.
who knows? Maybe you're pocketing it.
Yeah, you could take. I mean, I've taken a pen from work before.
I think the bigger issue here is that he's got feelings for his roommate.
Yeah. And you're worried that those feelings won't survive living farther apart.
Yeah.
But I think you can create a lot of problems by having feelings and being in the same place. It's tough. One of my best friends, he and his long-term girlfriend met because they were random roommates, and they're very happy together now.
Let's hear some names.
Alex. I don't know if I want to tell you both their names. They haven't told me that I could talk about them.
All right. Whatever. And is there any short-term solution if you can't really figure out these feelings, what he can do about this skin problem?
Skin problem. Well, okay. I feel like, first of all, the skin problem is definitely solvable by not cooking without a shirt. I mean, this is like you're choosing to sacrifice laundry for skin, and I would not make that choice.
Yeah.
I mean, worst case scenario, let's say you don't have an apron. You could just wear the same greasy shirt every time, and that'll also solve the skin problem.
Is that the most attractive thing?
No, an apron is definitely the solution here.
And he's got to be on this whole time because he's trying to impress this girl that he's living in close quarters with.
Totally. You could cook less greasy foods, or put an apron on, or, find a way to get it out of your shirt, which is either chalk or baby powder, I've learned.
One greasy guy in Georgia. I think that Chris and I have solved your problems. Do you mind if we read another?
Boy, let's do it.
Dear Brett, I love the show. Oh. I'm a recent retiree and a veteran of the Persian Gulf War.
Thank you for your service.
Yeah, thank you. I'm in a bit of a pickle. I recently bought a patriotic shirt that I was planning to wear at my son's 4th of July barbecue. He did not enlist like I did, and I tried to make a statement whenever he decides to celebrate on America's time. My shirt has a picture of an American flag in the text, "These colors don't run." Unfortunately, the shirt isn't as flawless as the old RWNB, and the colors did run all over my clothes. I threw out the pink clothes because I'm a man. Then I made a run to Kohl's to get another shirt and embarrassed myself in front of the cashier who would remember me from buying the same shirt last week. I probably look like an odd duck. How can I ensure the same problem won't happen with my next wash? If I return to Kohl's a third time, then I'll look like a real wackadoo, and I don't have the self-control to not show it off before July. What to do, what to do. An impatient patriot in St. Paul.
Well, impatient patriot, I think you've got several things going on here.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest one is it sounds like you need to talk to your son and have some open communication, because no amount of patriotic shirts are going to make a difference for having the conversation that sounds like you've been avoiding.
I feel like it's a spiteful move.
Yeah, it seems like this is, regardless of whether you can make those colors and the dye stick in the shirt, your emotions are bleeding right through.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the real problem here, I think.
Yeah.
Now, as far as the shirt.
That was a really poetic. The emotions are bleeding through.
Thank you.
But the laundry part, yeah.
As far as the laundry part, I wonder if you are using a hot water cycle. Because cold water, this is a thing. If you don't know this, I want to tell you, I do all of my laundry on cold. Never had color problem.
Mm-hmm.
Never had colors run into each other.
9 times out of 10, you don't need to use the hot water.
I think hot water, you can do just fine without ever encountering hot water.
And also that quick wash selection.
Use it every time.
Use it every time.
Cold water, quick wash. Never stray.
Mm-hmm. Unless you've got some hefty stains or it's something that needs the warm water.
I never do it. My worst case scenario, I just pre-treat a little bit.
Okay.
Never stray from cold water, cold wash. Cold water, quick wash.
Well, there's an even better solution to prevent these colors from running.
Okay.
And I don't mean the flag.
What do you mean?
I mean the colors on the shirt that says these colors don't run.
Okay.
Such an ironic problem.
You know, here's actually related to the flag. Did you know that the flag that's on the moon, they believe that it is now totally bleached white because of UV radiation from the sun?
What?
Yeah, the American flag on the moon. It's been there long enough. The UV radiation would have bleached it totally white.
Are we going to fix it?
I don't think we can. I mean, we'd have to put a new flag there.
Yeah.
And the same thing would happen. It's like how, you can put your jeans out in the sun. If you leave them out in the sun, they'll get sun bleached a little bit. That happened at a much higher rate on the moon.
You know what else? Where else it would happen? The one shelf of VHS tapes at Blockbuster. Those are closest to the window.
Yep, they would get bleached.
Mm-hmm.
Totally.
Yeah.
This is one of those scenarios.
Well, I can't fix that problem, but I can say that if you add half a cup of vinegar or a teaspoon of salt, it will prevent the colors from running.
Really?
Yeah.
I would guess a teaspoon of salt is going to be the better choice here.
Maybe so.
It seems like a half cup of vinegar might leave you some vinegar-smelling clothes.
Perhaps. But vinegar gets mildew smells out as well.
I did not know that. Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I never know how to solve the mildew smell. I always just leave the door of the washing machine open afterwards so that it will dry out. But not everyone follows my lead, and sometimes you get a mildewy washing machine. That's why I always smell the washing machine before I put my clothes in, which I notice people giving me a look in the laundromat, but that's the way you got to do it.
Mm-hmm. I would never give you a look in a laundromat.
Thank you. Never? Positive or negative?
No, I'd look at you.
Okay.
I'm staring at my neighbors
Thank you.
the whole time. I've got one more.
Let's hear it.
Dear Brett, I love the show. I'm new to doing laundry. My boyfriend and I both decided to take a year off between high school and college, and his parents took it better than mine. I got kicked out, so I moved into his house. His parents are a little less strict and let me move in. I've been helping with chores since I cannot pay rent as I don't have a job at the moment. We were getting drunk off wine the other night and wound up making a big mess. Wink. I decided to wash my boyfriend's favorite Minecraft hoodie and made a big mistake. I untied the knot in the string and it came loose. After the wash, I can't get it back in the hole. On top of that, I am pregnant. I feel like one big news item is enough for him, let alone two things. Please answer fast. Regretful in Rosemont and pregnant.
Regretful in Rosemont and pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
And just pregnant nowhere. Just pregnant, not location-based.
That's the way she wrote her signature.
Wow. Well, my first piece of feedback for you is that's not how these signatures generally work.
I have a pretty loose, it's a web submission form. And I just say, don't say your name. Just kind of say what you are.
What you are.
And where you are.
And where you are.
And
then if you
she's
want
a young
another
person,
thing
she
about
probably
you.
hasn't been reading Dear Abby growing up.
Okay.
You know? Yeah.
I'm just saying that, it's sometimes, and this is a good lesson about laundry too, sometimes, making sure that things are done properly, it helps with the rest of your life too.
I think she's got bigger problems right now.
I
don't think
this
that
is symptomatic.
Young pregnant girl needs you lecturing her on the semantics right now.
I'm telling you that the way that you present yourself to the world, it reflects what you're going to get back out of the world too. So I think it might be reflective of a bigger issue here.
Well, regretful when you go back to college, if you go back to college, which it seems like it's going to be harder now with a family because it seems like she's...
Could have been regretful and pregnant in Rosemont.
Well, now you know.
Better yet would have been all alliteration.
Okay. How would you suggest fixing the problem that she cares about?
Oh, the problem that she cares, not the problem I care about.
Yes.
Because the problem I care about, she could have said, raising a child and regretful in Rosemont.
We don't know she's raising the child. She might have an abortion.
Okay. Then she could have said, reducing my chance of pregnancy and regretful.
I think that
in
reducing
Rosemont.
my chance of pregnancy is not the right word for this because she's pregnant.
Reversing my pregnancy.
She's not asking us to solve her pregnancy problem.
Okay, well,
although it seems like that there is a motivating factor why she's so freaked out about this.
See, it does all come around.
Minecraft hoodie.
Okay, so let's talk. If we're going to talk about your problem, Minecraft hoodie is not that you're projecting onto the Minecraft hoodie. That's not an issue. Also, almost no one, the whole industry of trying to put strings in hoodies is just a fake industry. No one needs the strings. The hoodies are almost never brought tight. If you're using your hoodie strings, you're using a hoodie wrong.
I don't know about that.
Oh, come on. You try and tighten it up like as though a hat. You know what a better solution is? Get a hat.
But, what if it's kind of, you're just kind of tugging on the neck strings or sort of just like, leave me alone, Mom.
A loose string fiddle, sure, but you can do that with the string now that it's out. It's easier to fiddle with. Just carry it around in your pocket.
Well, let's say we want the string back in because this is his favorite hoodie.
Well, one way you can get the string back in is you tie the string, you loop it through like a knitting needle or a sewing needle, depending on how thick the string is, and then you can thread that all the way through. It'll be a lot easier.
It would be a lot easier, but still pretty damn hard. What you need to do is you need to take the string and put it into a straw.
Okay.
And then you've got a solid stick that you could sort of weave your way through, hopefully before he gets home and realizes his hoodie's all messed up from the wash.
Either way, two ways that it could work. Laundry hack there. And as for the pregnancy thing, this is truly the best solution to all of these is you got to have an honest conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Can't hide information like this. You got to talk about it. That's the only way to do it.
No, I think you could talk about it and still have the same problem. I think abstinence is key.
Oh, but you're past that point now.
Well, in the future. I mean, maybe you could teach your kid to abstain.
You think the next generation can avoid this same problem?
Yeah.
Well, listen, if that's where you're going, you should also teach your kid the straw trick.
Yeah. But I think that this girl's weird relationships with her parents, I think it's going to negatively affect the next generation.
Also,
too. I think it's going to be a continuing cycle because I don't think this Minecraft nerd is going to stay in the picture.
This is very judgmental.
That's what.
Also, if she's teaching her daughters or son something, I would also teach them about alliteration and following the rules.
Well, these are fake. Thank you for your messages and thank you for being a fan. And Chris, is there any sort of parting thoughts you have about laundry? Because I kind of feel like I have been navigating the conversation a little bit.
Oh, this is the end of the show.
This is the end of the show, yeah.
Letters and then goodbye.
Yeah.
Well, I would say that if you do, my parting thoughts about laundry, my real thoughts are, if you take care of some small stuff for yourself, like you get yourself clean clothes, you fold your clothes so that they're not wrinkled, then it just feels good. If you abstain from premarital sex in your boyfriend's parents' basement or wherever in their house when you're drinking wine, all of those kind of small choices, they lead to you feeling better about yourself and giving yourself more of a, treating yourself the way you would treat someone else, you know? Because a lot of times you would do better for someone else than you would do better for yourself. But I think you can treat yourself that well too.
Yeah. Why pay for the laundry service? when you can just put a little bit of heart into it.
Also, a thing that I think people forget about laundry is 90% of the work of laundry happens by the machine. Like, you can read a book while you're doing laundry. That's not a thing you can do while you're vacuuming. You can't read a book and vacuum or scrub a tub.
Yeah.
It's a task where you also get some time for you. And you get to, for me at least, any task where you get to have a lot of time to just think, you know, that you'll come up with some good ideas. That's a great place to unlock some creativity.
Thank you. I wish
welcome.
more people had such an open vision of the world of laundry.
Yeah. It's, you know, it's not just about getting clean. It's also about giving yourself some time for you.
What's going on with You're the Expert? Is there any live shows coming up?
No, we are in between seasons. So when does this podcast come out?
I'm not sure.
So then almost certainly not.
Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to plug?
Yeah, you can check out my website, chrisduffycomedy.com. And I do a lot of shows all around the city.
You got clips?
Got clips up on there?
I don't think I ever said once that you're a stand-up comedian.
Oh, yeah. I'm a stand-up comedian.
But I think people would know that your voice control is someone practiced.
Yeah. Oh, you sound like you're speaking from your diaphragm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am.
I speak from the top of my mouth because for my listeners, it's a little bit more comfort.
Yep.
It's more comforting.
I feel as comfortable as I've ever felt.
Yeah. Well, I was hoping we would bury our hatchet tonight.
I think it's buried. I think we cleaned the hatchet and it's clean and dried and it's
maybe
perfect.
for you, but maybe I'll have another podcast someday. But thank you for coming on and sharing this love of laundry with me.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for coming to Laundry City and for sharing some time.
Of course. Been here before and I'll be here again.
That felt like a threat, I won't lie.
No, it's a good spot.
The way you said I'll be here again and looked me in the eyes felt like a threat, and it didn't feel like this is a good spot. It felt like I know you come here and I'll be here again. Thanks for having me.
Thanks.
This has been a Forever Dog production. Executive produced by Joe Cilio, Alex Ramsey, and Brett Boehm. For more podcasts, please visit foreverdogproductions.com.
Unless you listen to left-handed radio, you won't know what left-handed radio is.